Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to our match reaction show. It's finished Inter Milan nil, Empoli 1. And just when Inter Milan thought their season was up and running, that's when they thought they were getting into a run of form. They beat Milan as well very recently. It all comes crashing down, doesn't it? Very rarely do you have games where you can come out and you can say there were no positives in a game like for your team. That's very rarely that you say that. I think today is one of those days. I think there was absolutely nothing positive to take from this game for Inter Milan. If you're an Inter Milan fan, I'm not. But if you are an Inter Milan fan, you can tell me there was any positive from this game. I couldn't think of anything that I could take and say, yeah, this was a positive. I don't think there was anything at all. From minute 1 to minute 90, it just felt like Inter was just awful and awful and awful and just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse for Inter. But let me know what you thought of Inter's performance, if there's any positive there, because sometimes dark clouds do have silver linings, but this one I think was just a big dark cloud with nothing at all. So that was what I thought. But I mean, right from the start, though, I think Inter just kept getting frustrated. I don't know what it was about Inter Milan. Maybe they thought that they could show up and they could win. Sometimes when you win a lot of games, or when you have a good run of form like Inter were having, sometimes you kind of get a bit complacent. You start thinking that things will automatically just happen. And I think that's what Inter thought. And the longer the game started going, and Empoli started frustrating them more and more and more, they just kept getting more and more aggressive. They just kept getting more and more tenacious. And there's a fine line between aggression and over the top, just sort of frustration. And I think that was what happened. That aggression started becoming frustration. I mean, Nicola Barella, I don't know how he didn't get sent off. The number of times he complained to the ref after every tackle, he was straight in the referee's ear, and he only got a yellow. I don't know how he didn't get a red card. I mean, that's some serious temperament issues that guy has. Let's talk about the challenge. So Mkhitaryan should have been sent off in the 12th minute. That high boot on Caputo, that should have been a red card. I don't know how Mkhitaryan has not got a red card for that, because for me, I don't know how much more blatant it can get, because that for me was a red card for sure. You go high, I know that's challenging for a high ball, but that just to me that just seemed a very straightforward red card. I don't know how we missed that, but maybe the rules are different in Serie A. I'm not sure, but to me that looked like a straight red card. And then, but then, he made up for it because Skriniar said, "Fine, somebody's got to get sent off. I'll get sent off," and he got sent off. I mean, that again, such stupidity from Skriniar, because he's on a yellow card. He knows he's got to watch himself, and there's a ball to be contested. I don't know why he's raising his boot in that area. I have no idea what he's trying to do. Could have tried to head it. Could have just left it. Maybe try and block the angle or whatever. But he just goes with his leg. It's complete madness in some ways, and I think that sums up Inter in a way that they just knew that they were just awful and they had no idea what to do and how to change that. So deserved second yellow card. Some could say intent means he should not have been gotten where he shouldn't have gotten a red card, maybe. But intent doesn't come into this. The fact is that it was dangerous play, and it definitely deserved at least a yellow card. So second yellow card, well deserved, when he gets sent off. And once you go down to 10 men, I've seen teams win against despite being down to 10 men. But Inter never looked like they were going to win this game. Even with 11 men, they looked like they were not going to win this game. And they just, with 10 men, it just never looked possible. It was only a matter of if Empoli would cash in on that and get a chance. And I have to say, Empoli didn't create a lot. I mean, I don't think Empoli. I think there were two moments in the game where you thought, there's a chance. But otherwise, I don't think Empoli created. One of those was a goal, by the way. But I don't think otherwise Empoli created a lot. They did a lot of. They had a lot of possession. They did a lot of running. You never quite felt like they were going to score aside from those two moments. The first was a 3-on-2 break that they had, which I think the shot should have been much better, and Onana had a comfortable save in the end to make. But then that second chance, and again, sometimes luck is on your side, and this was one of those cases. When things go wrong for you, everything goes wrong for you. And I think Baldanzi's goal would be that. It was a good pass from Bajrami, by the way, and Baldanzi's shot is, I mean, it's a shot, but Onana should be saving that. He should be saving that. And he made a couple of good saves before that. So again, it's one of those players who was having a good game, and then suddenly he does that. So when you say there's no positives to take, that's one of those reasons. It was just a simple shot, which I think any goalkeeper really should be saving at this level, at least at the Serie A level. And he just kind of went, okay, I'm not, I just let it squirm under his arm, and he'll be very disappointed with that. And then Inter will be very disappointed with that. But it's 1-0. Bandinelli was very highly rated teenager at Empoli, and this is only going to raise his stock value. But it's 1-0 to Empoli, and I think that point you just kind of knew Inter were going to lose. It never looked like Inter were going to get back in it. There were some wild shots from Gosens. Again, I have no idea what Gosens is trying to do. There's some, there's absolutely, I mean, Dzeko had a couple of chances. He could have made more of. Lautaro Martinez, and we got to talk about Lautaro Martinez. Absolutely, absolutely woeful performance. A player who not too long ago was seen as the next big thing in football, was compared to Sergio Aguero and Luis Suarez, and yet here he is. He's struggling at the moment. He didn't have a good World Cup either. He's not looked good for a while, and I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's happened to him. But it's a big problem for Inter because you have Lukaku not firing. You can't have Lautaro not firing as well because that's just going to create problems for them. So again, like I said, I mean, it's just one of those days when everything goes wrong for you, and it happens to teams. And I think maybe Inter will look back and say, okay, it's good that it happened against Empoli and maybe not against a better team. So we come away with the 1-0 defeat rather than something more catastrophic. But still, I mean, it was just, I mean, and for some might say a 1-0 defeat at San Siro to Empoli, who only beaten them once before, might still be catastrophic. But it's just it was not pretty watching. And we're going to talk about Bellanova as well. And now Bellanova came on as a substitute. I think that's the only reason why he stayed on. But yeah, absolutely. From the time he came on at halftime to the end of the game, he never looked settled. He never looked comfortable. The crowd just kept going on. At some point, I think even the crowd were like cheering him. Again, we don't see that too often, that the fans cheer their own player, but they were cheering him like he was struggling. And I think by the end, you kind of felt like he wanted to be anywhere except on that pitch. He just he from the time that he made that errant pass, that wayward pass that almost led to a goal for Empoli, and I think then that kind of got him a little bit nervous, and then he just kind of couldn't get in the game. He was trying to overthink it because he didn't want to, because one time what happens is when you make a bad pass like that, you then start thinking to yourself, okay, what do I do? And then you start overthinking things. You start double guessing yourself. And so at times he would hold on to the ball too long because he wasn't sure if he should pass it. Sometimes he would just play a safe back pass because again he didn't want to pass it forward and lose the ball. He was just totally out of sorts, and he lost the ball as well quite a few times. He got bundled of the ball because he was dwelling on it too much. Most of his crosses were very, very average, very predictable as well. So he had a I think he was probably the worst player on the pitch, and that's saying something because Skriniar got sent off. But he really, really looked like if I was Inzaghi, I probably would have taken him off at 17th minute. I probably would have taken him off because, yeah, he's a substitute. You don't want to do that. But then at the same time, for the players himself, sometimes it's just good to, okay, it's not working, just come off and not put into that. Because mentally, I don't think he was prepared for what is happening out there. Some players can mentally fight through it, but he didn't look like that. So that was just there. But it's been and congratulations to Empoli. I think it was a fantastic performance from them, all things considered. They had a game plan, they executed perfectly. Nothing to say about that. Take nothing away from them. They were a really good performance and deserved that win. But they were the better team, so they deserved to win. They didn't create a lot, but at the end of the day, if any team was going to win it, they deserved to be the winners of this match. I mean, it was just not that hard to do because Inter were just, there's levels that I think Inter will absolutely rock bottom in this game. So, and the good news, of course, if there's any good news, that's probably the fact that it can only get better from here for Inter because they've really probably had the worst performance of their season. So hopefully they can improve on that. But let me know what you thought of the game. What do you think of the performances? Is there something that what needs to change? Something needs to change. But what needs to change for the next game? What do you rather see Inter do? Because they're gonna have to figure this out because they can't keep performing like this. It's one bad game. It happens, and they want to make sure it's not a pattern. So let me know in the comments, of course, up to hear from you. And do remember to like our video, share it, and do subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We appreciate your support. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye bye.